world's top creepy abandoned places around the world. With a total population of over 7 billion people, it's hard to imagine that any place in the world could be abandoned. And yet, they exist, each one with an eerie past and an uncertain future. Here are the tales of abandoned places and how they came to be deserted. House of the Bulgarian Communist Party, Mount Buzlazo, Bulgaria. Opening in 1981, the House of the Bulgarian Communist Party was the center of Bulgarian politics during the Soviet era, but with the fall of the Iron Curtain, less than a decade later came the abandonment of the building that symbolized that regime. Much of the paneling from the building's roof has been stolen, leaving the interior subject to the whims of the elements. Although some want to restore the building in an effort to drive tourism to the region, the cost is currently too high for the government to do so. Kolmanskop, Namibia. Kolmanskop, the ghost town in Sperrgebiet of Namibia, was built during the burgeoning diamond trade. A railway employee was shoveling sand away from the railroad tracks when he spotted a diamond. The news spread quickly, and many Germans poured into the area to hunt for the precious gems. A bustling town soon developed, complete with a hospital, school, factory, and casino. However, by the end of the First World War, the town declined. Later, richer diamond deposits were found farther south, and operations moved to Oranjemund. Kolmanskop became a ghost town. In 1980, the De Beers Mining Company restored many of its buildings and turned Kolmanskop into a tourist attraction. Wonderland Amusement Park, Beijing, China. Meant to be Beijing's answer to Disneyland, the Wonderland Amusement Park was abandoned in 1998 after disputes over land prices brought a halt to construction. Some of the land has been used by local farmers to grow crops, although demolition of the abandoned structures is scheduled to make space for a shopping center. Hashima Island, Nagasaki, Japan, also nicknamed Battleship Island as well as the more telling Ghost Island. Hashima Island housed a coal mining facility during its heyday from the late 19th to mid-20th century. The island is also home to a hospital, school, and restaurants, now all in disrepair. Pripyat, Ukraine. Pripyat is well known because of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster that took place in 1986. Once housing thousands of plant workers, as well as their families, the entire city had to be evacuated after an accident caused a leak of nuclear radiation. San Antonio del Tequendama, Colombia. Originally constructed in 1923, the Hotel del Salto is located alongside the Tequendama waterfalls in central Colombia. The hotel was abandoned after a few decades due to contamination in the river and left to deteriorate, although, recently, it has been converted into a museum. Still, many think of the building as haunted, since it was known during its heyday as a site for numerous suicides. Villa Apucuan, Buenos Aires Province, Argentina. Originally conceived as a tourist village on the shores of Lake Apucuan, the Villa Apucuan was first built in the 20s and was a successful destination through early 80s. In 1985, however, the dam holding back the lake's waters failed, and the village was soon covered in water. The waters did eventually recede, but the remnants of the village have sat abandoned ever since. Dodi Park, Dodizeel, Belgium. Dodi Park was a Belgian amusement park shut down over a decade ago because a boy lost his arm on one of the freaking rides. The park had claimed it was closing for renovations, but simply never reopened. Now, the park is covered in rust and graffiti, with some parts functioning as underground skate parks. Whitley Court, Worcestershire, England, an imposing, palatial mansion from the 19th century. Whitley Court suffered a devastating fire in 1937 from which it never recovered. Some restoration to this huge estate has taken place, and visitors are able to wander the gardens and see a large fountain of Perseus and Andromeda, that was one of the home hallmarks. IM Cooling Tower, Belgium. The IM Cooling Tower is part of an abandoned power plant located in Monza, Belgium. While in use, the tower cooled incoming hot water by using wind. The wind would enter the opening at the bottom of the tower and rise up, cooling the hot water. The air would then become warm and leave the tower. During its prime, the IM Cooling Tower could cool up to 480,000 gallons of water per minute. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.